Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We got a list of 12 properties on the Terrace system. We got 4 more on Oakville. And then what I did was I put a duplicate on both systems because there were actually better photos on Bannen on the Oakville system. So one of the things I wanted to talk about, I had taught a session yesterday, a seminar. There's about 400 realtors at the Mississauga Living Arts Center. And there were some local agents in the session. And what was neat about that was that we all kind of get along in town. I mean, everybody, can sort of support each other. I think as a win-win to the clients too. It's not like we're trying to kind of make side deals or anything like that. But I think that the cooperation for most of the local agents and the knowledge and the ability and how fast we can get stuff done, I think is much better. I found the dealings are far superior than someone who comes in from Toronto, lists a home, and trying to convince them of value. It can be a very interesting exercise at times. So the local agents, I think, really do matter, and the knowledge and the awareness are far greater than you'd find anywhere else. And I've seen that translate into a lot more money for sellers and a lot more savings for buyers in certain situations. So let's get to today's list. And so 805 McKay, the first 3 are actually all the same model. It's called a Brennan model. And I can't show you as well with this one because it doesn't have photos yet. But it's basically one big room on the main floor, 1 full bathroom upstairs versus 2, and 1130 square feet. This one has a finished basement as well. Without seeing the one on McKay, which I've seen come up on the market a couple times in the last 5 years, I would say that this one on Patterson certainly looks like the best option to me. You've got some good upgrades here. The kitchen looks great. And so that's your one main room on the main floor. The master's a good size. There's a walk-in closet with a window, and they've got a good-looking finished basement as well. Now you get to this one on Herman Way. It's about $14,000 more, and it's a newer street, and the basement has a powder room, so another 2-piece bathroom, but not a full one. So there's still only 1 full bathroom in this home. If I were them, I probably would have done a 3 or 4-piece. I would have put a shower in there just in case someone wanted a second bathroom. But this one looks great too. I just think for $15,000 more, I would be tempted to move over to the other one. Now, being that they are, I guess the price range is going to help that they're split up a bit more. But the same model, 3 different listings, you wonder if it's just going to spread the buyer interest around and actually be less beneficial to those guys versus just one coming out. I wonder if there's a little bit of a flooding action that occurs that kind of washes out the impact of just having one. So McEwen is 394. It's a Emery model, so you're about 300 square feet bigger than the previous ones, and you're getting a second full bathroom upstairs. Nice looking kitchen. And we talked about this last week. I'd rather put in hardwood floors. This one just has carpet versus trying to redo a kitchen. So there's easier things to do. It looks like a great home. It's probably a little high on the price side. I'd like to see a little bit more upgrading inside, but it's not that far off. This one I'm going to talk about later in the episode. Backs onto train tracks, but there's a deeper lot, and you've got an end unit in town with a good amount of space actually. Terrace is smaller than that. It's only 1,500 square feet versus 2,200 square feet of finished space in the previous. Not backing onto train tracks. It looks like a nice looking home. That's actually laminate floors, and it certainly looks like a better quality laminate floor than just the basic, and they've done it upstairs as well. If your laundry room looks like that, generally you can count on the house being pretty nice. If you just showed me that photo, I'd say, hey, it's probably in pretty good shape. And a nice deck in the backyard. This home has sold around this price range. I don't think they're that far off, but we have also seen much larger homes sell for around this price too. So depending on which set of stats you look at, you could say that one's either priced well or maybe a little bit high. Now, Kelman Court is $465. It's a Royal Fern, so it's 2,047 square feet. Now, what happens is when the garage pushes forward, you open up space in the main floor. It's actually got a really nice floor plan. Kitchen, eat-in, family room, plus a dining room. This one's kind of been an acquired taste for me over the years. I didn't like it when I first saw it, but the more models that I'm in and the more experience I have with this model, the more I like it. It's 8-foot ceilings here. The 9-foot version feels like it's about 400 square feet bigger. It really has a big impact. There's certain models that if you can get it in a 9-foot, do it, because it's really, really nice. They've done a great job in the kitchen. So if somebody wanted to, they could put hardwood floors in here. The rest of the home looks like it's clean, well kept, and the design is pretty good too. You've got a little loft upstairs plus 3 other bedrooms, and it looks like a standard 36 by about 88 foot lot. This model, same thing. We've seen some sell around this price range. We've also seen some sell in this price range with a little bit more features than this one. So again, not the deal of the century, but I think that you could certainly justify where they're at. Gallon dropped their price. Funny, you can see the camera actually sticking out of the bottom of the screen. Looks like mostly original inside. But for this size of home, 2,200 square feet or so, on a street like Gallon, this is pretty much entry point. We just saw the one on Clements with the brown trim around the garage drop to this price and get an offer pretty quick. And I would say Gallon and Clements are very similar homes. And actually, I like some of the things about this one better than the one on Clements. So they should do pretty well. This is a good price for that home. Lydia's $599. It's been out for sale for a little while. There's no garage here. I've heard that it doesn't exactly show amazingly well inside, but I haven't seen it in person, so I'm just going by hearsay, which I don't like to do. This is, I think, one of the better streets in Milton, 66 by 132 foot lot. You've got a lot of potential here with this one. It does certainly look like a bit of upgrading could help them out. But at $599, again, if you were talking about entry point for this kind of property, that's pretty much it. We saw the one on Queen last week that was at $530, and it was definitely original there. I find the location for Lydia, I would take it over the one on Queen. Anderson here is $675, and so it's a 70 by 113 lot, and they've done a lot of upgrading and changing around to this one. I think it's got a big kitchen layout. My concern would be is that it doesn't have a lot of grass, is that the pool takes up the most of the yard, and it's good to have a balance between pool plus a bit of grass, bit of place for the kids to walk around and play around, throw a ball around. Great curb appeal. Anderson is one of my favorite streets in town, and it looks like they've got 2 sort of separate bedrooms in the basement. And they do have a pre-inspection report, which is nice as well. With a home like that, that's probably about 30 years old. So Ramshaw is $689. Same model on Hearst, sold for a lot less than this. And the pictures are very dark. It looks like there's a lot of stuff in this home. If there's an advantage to this one, it's the fact that it has a little separate suite downstairs. It's rented for $800. Now, you'd have to be careful, because if that tenant's in a contract, then you have to assume that tenant. So if you did or didn't want them, that would certainly affect your decision to buy this one. They're holding back on offers for a couple days, although I can't really see this one getting into a competitive situation at that price. Cavell is $839. It's a nice looking house. There's lots of very nice upgrades, 3331 square feet. The photos are strange. There's 2 of the front. There's like 3 of the staircase. That's the den upstairs. So they're probably gonna have to redo their photo gallery, but here's the thing, is that it's got a basement apartment. When you look at that basement apartment, I mean, you've got this weird sort of cladding here, and then there's some bricks that look like they've been replaced. So the entrance looks a little sketchy. The rest of the house looks okay. There's one for sale right now, less than the same model, on a big pie-shaped lot and a gorgeous kitchen. And I would rather do my own work in the basement, properly, permits and so on, and keep that pie-shaped lot than to have this one on a standard lot where they've already done that stuff. I think the future potential is a lot greater. And then finally, we're going to go over and see 4 on the Oakville system. There's this one on Maple Avenue. $269 for a 2-bedroom is very competitive. It seems like it's getting a little more competitive for the condos in town. It's a good layout here. There's only 1 full bathroom, but I think that's kind of, we start to see 1+1s at $269 in some of the other buildings. And the condo fees are pretty low here. We're looking at, $309 for this one, so they're not that low, but I would say that they're still competitive. A good condo fee range is about 60 cents a square foot. as a balance point. Some of the newer buildings don't get to that point until they're a little more mature, but that tends to be a pretty good range to shoot for. We've got a current model, Currant, 1195 square feet, Mattamy, 3-story village town, and this seems pretty competitive. We sold a home like probably 6 to 9 months ago. Same model as this, similar features, and we sold it right at $330. So they've certainly listened to that. I think that some of the other models have kind of pushed the bar up a little bit, and they should do pretty well. So we're going to get to the next one. This is Bannen. So this is 120-foot deep lot, but it has this sloping berm. So fun in the winter for tobogganing. Hardwood floors here. Pretty big open concept layout, and then you've got 3 big bedrooms upstairs, finished basement, which adds another 400 square feet or so from the total of 22, so 18 plus 4. That's what you see at the top of the hill. That's what you see at the bottom. So usable space is probably not much more than a Mattamy house, but you've got all this extra stuff here. Not the most fun to mow. You can either go side to side or kind of let the push up hard and then sort of let it drop down here. I would say that this one is a good size for the price. People who live close to trains say that after a month they don't really even notice it that much. So I'll leave that up to the discretion of the buyer. But I've heard it enough that, like I said in past episodes, there's got to be some kind of truth to it. This one in Elliot looks like it's had a lot of upgrades here. It looks like it's got granite counters. It's got what looks like a 30-year roof on it. You've got a 16 by 32 in-ground pool. So there's no photos. It's hard for me to say much more about it without showing you the photos. And the last one is this one on McEwen Terrace, 585. It's a winter grove, 2,400 square feet plus a finished basement, iron pickets, hardwood floors. You've got a good-looking kitchen here. So there's a loft above the garage here. So your main floor is there. You walk up some stairs from the front door. You walk up a few more stairs to the bedrooms. People really like this floor plan, and I think there's a lot of space in here for the price. This one without a finished basement, I think, would be priced not too bad at $585. So you're almost getting the basement for free. And I like this one. I think it's priced very well, given what else is sold. And that's the list for today. If you have any questions, give us a call, and we'd be glad to help you. Remember, we have 3 options, so you can go on a tour of homes. You can come to a buyer class, which is probably happening in about a month from now, and you can come meet me at Starbucks and just tell me a bit more about your plans. We can break down the steps and the costs and all the things that you should know before doing whatever you're going to do, buying, selling, or investing. So have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.